Taking nice gentle breaths in here. Taking nice gentle steady breaths in and out, letting the arms go in nice and heavy. Chest resting in between your legs. Staying here for one more deep breath. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to slowly lift the head ever so slightly, and then we're just going to walk the hands over towards the left side of the mat, and then gently lowering the forehead down towards the ground. Now, in this position, you may feel a slight compression on the left side of the body, so just try and take gentle breaths into this side, and just releasing any tension. Staying here for one more deep breath. As we come to take our next deep breath in, we're going to lift the forehead off the ground ever so slightly, walking the hands back through the center and taking them over towards the right side of the mat, and then gently lowering the forehead down towards the ground. Again, you may feel a slight compression on the right side of the body this time. Just taking your time, taking nice gentle breaths in here, and just trying to release any tension in the body. Come to take our next deep breath in, we're going to walk the hands back through the center, and then we're going to curl through the spine, bringing ourselves back up onto an all fours position. Coming to rest the hands and the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and just taking a nice gentle breath in here. As we come to take our next deep breath in, you're going to tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling, opening up through the chest, tilting the chin up towards the ceiling, taking a nice gentle breath in here. As we exhale, we're going to contract and round through the spine, bringing the tailbone down towards the ground and the chin towards the chest. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. And then we're just going to move through the spine, so in line with your breath, just starting to wake up through the spine. Nice gentle movements this morning. And down towards the ground and the chin towards the chest. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. And then we're just going to move through the spine, so in line with your breath, just starting to wake up through the spine. Nice gentle movements this morning. Before then returning back to a nice comfortable neutral position. We're going to inhale, we're going to lift the left arm, taking it up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to take that arm and we're going to bring it underneath the right arm, but we're going to keep the arm off the ground. So we're just exploring, moving through the upper body. And then inhale, lifting that hand up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to draw it down. We're going to take it across the right side of the body. Again, keeping that arm up. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Inhale, we're going to lift the arm up towards the ceiling. This time as we exhale, we're going to draw the hand down. We're going to take it across the ground and we're going to come to rest the head and the arm onto the ground. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Relaxing the head and the arm down into the mat, taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for one more deep breath. And then we're going to slowly start to bring that left arm, we're going to take it across the chest, lifting it up towards the ceiling before coming to place it back onto the ground. We're then going to do the same on the opposite side. So we're going to take the right arm, we're going to lift it up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to draw that right arm, we're going to take it across the body, we're going to keep the arm off the ground, we're going to lift it off the ground this time. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. As we take our next breath in, we're going to inhale, we're going to draw the arm across the chest, taking it up towards the ceiling, opening up through that chest. Exhale, drawing that hand underneath, remembering to keep it lifted off the ground this time, keeping the arm off the ground, taking it across the body. Nice gentle breath in here. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale, we're going to take the arm up towards the ceiling. Nice big stretch, opening up through the chest. As we exhale, this time we're going to take the hand across the ground, bringing the head down towards the ground. The right arm goes out towards the left side, and just taking a moment to have a deep, nice, gentle breath here at the bottom. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to push down with the left hand. We're going to take the right arm out. We're going to lift it up towards the ceiling, having a nice big stretch. And then we're going to come to place the hands back onto the ground, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to tuck the toes underneath. And we're just going to have a bit of a movement through the body just to release any tension that we're holding. So we're just going to take the body in a nice gentle circle. So bringing the bum down towards the heels in a nice gentle circle. We're just going to do 3 in each direction. Once you've done 3 in one direction, we're then going to go 3 in the opposite direction. Just moving through the body. And then coming back to our nice neutral position. Fingers spread nice and wide, toes still remaining tucked. We're going to bring the weight back towards the heels, really grounding down through the hands with the fingers spread nice and wide. And I'm going to slowly start to push the knees away, tilting that tailbone up towards the ceiling, coming to rest in our downward facing dog. And then we're just going to bring one heel down towards the ground and then the other. Just having a nice big stretch through the legs. Nice gentle breath in this position. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale and we're going to bring the weight so that the arms are stacked, the shoulders are stacked over the top of the wrist, and the body is nice and long. We're then going to slowly lower those knees down towards the ground, and then slowly lowering the chest down all the way down to the ground. As we come to take our next deep breath in, we're just going to lift the head off the hands for a moment. We're going to come to bring the elbows so that they're underneath the shoulders. To know this position and to make sure that your hands are in the right position, if you take hold of each arm with your hands and then take the arms out nice and long, you'll then be shoulders width apart. And we're just going to squeeze through the bum cheek and just lifting the chin, opening up through the chest. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we come to take our next breath in, we're just going to lower the head back down towards the ground. We're going to move the hands so that the hands are placed underneath the shoulders. And we're just going to gently push back up, moving the knees so that they come underneath the ankles, moving the wrists so they're underneath the shoulders, Just come to rest in a nice, comfortable, neutral tabletop position. Come in to take a nice, gentle breath in here. Then I'm going to take the right leg and we're going to take it out nice and long behind you, taking a nice, gentle breath in here. Bending that right knee, having the foot plate pointing up towards the ceiling. We're then going to take that knee in a nice big circle, opening up through the chest, open up through the hips, Just going to do 3 in each direction. So once you've done 3 in one direction, you're then going to change and go in the opposite direction. And then come in to place that knee back down onto the ground once you've done 3 in each direction. And then going to lift that right knee off the ground again, taking the foot pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to contract around through the spine, bringing the chin in towards the chest. If you can, coming up onto the tiptoes on your hands, onto the fingertips, and then bringing that right foot forward so the right foot is next to the right hand. Taking a nice gentle breath in here, we're then going to inhale and lift up, coming to take the hands up towards the ceiling. Just making sure that the knee is stacked over the top of the ankle in this position, and taking the arms up nice and long. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. In this position, you want to try and open up through the shoulders, so bringing the arms out nice and wide. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. And then we're going to release, bringing those hands back down towards the mat. We're going to create some movement in the right leg this time. So we're just going to walk the hands back, lengthening out through that right leg, and then bring the weight forward. So you can either have your toes on the back foot tucked or untucked. I'm just going to bring the weight back, straightening out through that right leg, and then walking them forward. Just moving through the hips, through the legs. Just going to do 1 more. This time when we come back, we're just going to hold it there for 2 deep breaths. Before walking those hands back forward. Inhale, lifting the hands, coming to place them onto that right knee. And then taking the arms out towards the sides and just having a moment here. Just taking a nice gentle breath in here. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to bring the hands back down towards the mat, and we're just going to take that right foot, taking it out nice and long behind you, and just drawing it in and out from the chest just a couple of times, just moving through that leg. Before coming to place that foot back onto the ground. Making sure that the wrists are stacked over the top of the shoulders are stacked over the top of the wrist. We're going to step that right foot back and we're going to bring the toes onto the ground. We're then going to step the left foot back, coming to meet it into our high plank. Staying here for 1 deep breath. We're then going to gently lower the knees down to the ground and slowly lower the chest down to the ground also. Taking a moment to have a deep breath in here at the bottom and just releasing those toes. You've got the option of coming into the pose that we did before, so with the forearms on the ground and the elbows down. Or the second option is if you wanted to place the hands underneath the shoulders and then coming up into your cobra. It's completely up to you which one feels more comfortable. Just taking a nice gentle breath here in either pose that you decide to choose. Really engaging through the glutes. Chin towards the ceiling. Stay in here for 2 more deep breaths. Before releasing and slowly lowering back down to the ground. And then we're going to push up from the hands, taking the knees out nice and wide, big toes touching, just drawing that weight back, bringing the bum down towards the heels, arms out nice and long. Coming to take a moment to release the lower spine, coming to rest into child's pose. Taking a nice gentle breath in here, just letting the head and the chest go nice and heavy. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we come in to take our next deep breath in, we're going to inhale, we're going to curl through the spine, come into rest back into our neutral tabletop position with the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Come in to take a nice gentle breath in here. We're going to inhale and we're going to lift the left leg off the ground, coming to bend that knee, taking the foot up towards the ceiling. And then just going to take that knee in a nice big circle, opening up through the hips. Nice, gentle, steady breaths. Just going to do 3 in each direction. So once you've done 3 in one direction, you're then going to do 3 in the opposite direction. And then coming to rest that foot back, that knee back on the ground once you've done 3 in each direction. We're then going to take that left foot out towards the ceiling again. We're going to bend the knee. We're going to bring the knee in towards the chest, so really rounding through the spine, similar to what we did at the beginning. To create a bit more space, you can come up onto the fingertips and then step that left foot forward next to the left hand, sorry. Taking a moment to have a nice gentle breath in here. Then as we inhale, we're going to lift up, coming to place the hands onto the thigh. Just checking that the knee is stacked over the top of the ankle. And then lifting those hands, taking them out towards the sides, creating that space in between the neck and shoulders. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to release the hands, bringing them down towards the mat. Again, you've got the option of having that back toe tucked or whether you have it flat against the ground. I tend to prefer to have it tucked. Then we're just going to move the weight backwards and forwards, so lengthening out through that left leg and then walking yourself forward. Just moving through the hips, through that leg, exploring, transferring the weight from the front of the body, bringing it back. Nice and gently. We're going to do one more, and when we come back this time, we're just going to hold it there for 2 deep breaths. We're walking those hands forwards, and again, we're going to lift the hands up, opening up through that chest, taking the shoulders nice and wide, arms nice and wide, sorry. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for one more deep breath. And then gently releasing those hands, bringing them down, placing them onto the ground. Taking that left leg, taking it out nice and long behind you, just bringing it in towards the chest and taking it out nice and long, just a couple of times, just releasing that leg. And then coming to place that leg back, that knee back onto the ground. Similar to what we've just done, we're going to step that right foot back, coming onto the toes. Stepping that left foot back to meet the right, coming into our high plank position. Taking a moment to have 2 deep breaths in here. If you do need to bring your knees down, then please do so. As we take our next breath in, we're going to lower those knees down to the ground and slowly lower the upper body down to the ground. And just come into place, one hand on top of the other, and just come to rest the forehead onto the hands just for a moment. Just taking a nice deep breath in here. Just letting everything go nice and heavy. Just relaxing through the body. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to lift the head off the hands. Again, you've got the option of coming onto the forearms or having your hands underneath the shoulders and lifting up into your cobra. It's completely up to you, keeping a gentle bend in those elbows, squeezing through the thighs and through the glutes to give that lower back that bit more support, and just opening up through the chest. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to bend through the knees. We're going to take the knees nice and wide, big toes together, arms out nice and long. Bringing that forehead down towards the ground and just coming to rest in child's pose, just releasing that lower spine. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 1 more deep breath. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale, but we're going to curl through the spine, bringing ourselves back up into our tabletop position. Checking the wrists are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Taking a nice deep breath in here, we're going to tuck the toes underneath. We're going to draw that weight back towards the heels, really pushing the ground away with the hands, lifting those knees, taking the tailbone up towards the ceiling, keeping a nice gentle bend in those knees, and just having a moment to bring one heel down towards the ground and then the other. Nice gentle breath in here. Just moving through those legs, releasing that body. As we come to take our next breath in, we're just going to slowly start to walk the feet forward towards the hands, coming to rest into our forward fold, letting the arms and the head go nice and heavy, remembering to keep it tilted up if you do need to. Just taking a nice gentle breath in here, and maybe taking hold of each elbow and just having a gentle sway from side to side, just letting everything go nice and loose. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to release the hands and come into place them just above the knees. We're going to inhale and we're going to open up through the chest, tilting that tailbone out behind you. As we exhale, we're going to contract and round through the spine, lifting those hands, coming to take them up above the head, taking a nice big stretch. And then releasing those hands back down towards the sides of the body. And just taking a moment, just have a bit of a move through the arms, through the shoulders, through the legs, giving them a bit of a wiggle, a bit of a shake out. Come into place, both feet so that they're right next to each other. We're then going to lift the toes off the ground and take them out towards the corners of the mat. And then we're going to lift those heels and just come into place, the heels down in line with the toes so that we're hips distance apart. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to inhale and lift those hands up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to bring the left hand down towards the sides of the body. And we're just going to reach over the top of the head with the right arm. Just having a nice big stretch, feeling the air coming into the right side of the body. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we take our next breath in, we're going to inhale, but we're going to reach out towards the corner of the room, really opening up through the chest, taking the gaze towards that right arm. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 1 more breath. And then we're going to inhale, lifting both hands up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to draw that right hand down, come into place it onto the right thigh, and we're going to reach over the top of the head with that left arm, just opening up through the left side of the body, just taking a moment, just have a nice deep breath in here. Really feeling that air coming into the left side of the body. 1 more deep breath in here, and then we're going to reach out towards the corner of the room with that left arm, opening up through the chest, taking the gaze towards the left hand, taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. Then we're going to inhale and we're going to lift both hands up towards the ceiling. We're going to interlace those fingers and push the palms away with the hands, taking a nice big stretch here. You can either keep the hands interlaced or take the hands apart, but we're then going to take the arms in a nice big circle, just releasing that lower spine and releasing the body. I'm just going to do 3 in each direction. Bending the knees as you come down towards the bottom. And then going in the opposite direction, once you've done 3 on one side. And then inhale, lifting all the way back up to the top. As we exhale, we're going to release the hands, but we're going to take them out behind the spine. Interlacing those fingers, drawing the shoulder blades together, opening up through the chest, tilting that chin up towards the ceiling. Taking a nice deep breath in here. And then gently release and giving the arms a big shake. And having a bit of a move around with the legs as well. As we come to take our next breath in, remembering to keep the feet hips distance apart, we're going to come to place the hands onto the hips. And then we're just going to gently start to sink that tailbone down towards the ground as though you're going to come and sit down. Pausing at the point that it feels comfortable for you. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the arms out nice and long. Remembering to keep that space in between the neck and the shoulders. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for one more deep breath. And then we're gently going to release, bringing that weight forward, coming to place the hands down towards the ground or onto the ankles if that's more comfortable. And just taking a nice gentle breath in here. Let everything go nice and heavy. If you do suffer with blood pressure, please do keep your head tilted up. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Again, if you want to take hold of the elbows and just have a gentle rock from side to side. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale, we're going to come to place the hands just above the knees, tilting that tailbone out behind you and opening up through the chest. Contracting round through the spine and then lifting those hands, come to take them up above the head, taking a nice big stretch and then releasing those hands back down towards the sides of the body. Coming to step towards the front of the mat. As we come to take our breath in, we're going to come to place the hands onto the hips and we're going to step that left foot back, taking it at an angle. So you've got your left foot pointing towards the left corner of the mat and the right foot is parallel, pointing forwards. We're going to twizzle the hips so they're pointing towards that right foot at the front. And then we're going to lift those hands, bending that right knee, coming to place the right knee stacked over the top of the ankle. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Nice gentle breath, remembering to keep that space between the neck and the shoulders. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. As we take our next breath in, we're going to exhale, bringing the hands, coming to place them onto the hips. As we exhale, we're going to straighten out ever so slightly through that right leg. So you don't want to be locking the knee in place, but you want to keep a nice, gentle, just a small bend in that right knee. Keeping the hands on those hips, we're then going to bring the weight forward, so hinging forward from the hips to a point that is comfortable for you. And you've got the option to keep the hands on the hips or come into place the hands on the lower spine. And just take a nice gentle breath in here. I'm not going to be here for too long. Choosing that position that is comfortable for you. Nice gentle breath in. Staying here for one more deep breath. And then we're just going to slowly bring the hands back onto the hips and then ever so slowly just coming back up to stand in. And then we're going to step that left foot forward and just giving both legs a nice big shake. Coming to do it on the opposite side, so I'm going to turn around so that you can see it a bit better. So we're going to step back with the right foot this time, taking that right foot back behind you, toes pointing towards the right corner of the mat, bending that left knee, coming to place the left knee over the top of the ankle, twizzling those hips so they're pointing towards the front of your mat, and then lifting those hands, taking them up towards the ceiling, taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we come to take our next breath in, as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands back down, coming to place them onto the hips. Similar to what we've just done, we're going to straighten out through that left leg, keeping those ever so small bend in that knee. We're going to inhale to lengthen up through the spine, and then we're going to hinge forward from the hips, bringing that weight down to as far as feels comfortable for you. And then you've got the option of keeping the hands on the hips or taking them behind the back. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Grounding down through those feet to keep you stable. Staying here for one more deep breath. Before bringing those hands back onto the hips and then slowly bringing yourself back up to standing. And then stepping that right leg forward and just giving both legs a nice big shake out. Having a bit of a move around with the arms as well, so maybe having a nice big circle through the arms. And then going in the opposite direction as well. And just giving them a bit of a shake out. And maybe having a bit of a move around and opening up through the feet. So hands in a position that is comfortable. We're going to come onto the top of the toes on the right foot. I'm just going to have a bit of a wriggle. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it helps to open up through those feet. And then going on the tops of the toes as well. And then lifting that right foot and just giving the ankle a bit of a circle. And then coming to place that right foot back down, coming up onto the toes on the left foot. So turning those toes over on the left foot this time. Just having a bit of a wriggle, opening up through those feet. And then coming onto the tops of the toes as well. And then again, lifting that ankle and just giving it a big circle. And then coming to place the feet back onto the ground. You've got a couple of options for the next pose. So the first option is bringing the right foot to the side of the left ankle. The second option is going to place it onto the lower leg. Or the third option is going to place it up onto the thigh. Choosing that position that is comfortable for you. Once you've found your balance, have a look, see if you've got a fixed point in front of you that you can keep your focus on. And then come into place the hands either into prayer, keeping them on the hips, or taking them out towards the ceiling. I'm just going to stay here for a few deep breaths, just engaging through the core, working on that balance. If you do come out of it, try and come back into it if you can. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. And then releasing those hands and releasing that leg, giving both legs a big shake. Again, on the left side, you've got the same options. So coming to find that position that is comfortable for you. I'm going to choose the lower leg. Once you've found your comfortable position, trying to find that point in front of you that you can keep your focus. And then come into place the hands into a position that is comfortable for you. Nice, gentle, steady breaths in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. And then gently releasing the hands back down to the hips, releasing those legs, giving both legs a nice big shake. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale, lifting the hands up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to fold forward from the hips, bringing the hands down towards the ground and just releasing that body. Just letting everything go nice and heavy. Maybe having a gentle sway from side to side. As we take our next breath in, we're going to inhale and we're going to come to lift the hands, come into place and just above the knees. We're going to open up through that chest, toes and that tailbone out behind you. As we exhale, we're going to contract and round through the spine, really rounding through the spine, through the shoulders, lifting those hands, coming to take them up above the head, into placing the fingers and pushing away with the palms. If you can, we're going to take the hands ever so slightly back behind the spine and just creating a small back bend. Taking a breath in here with the chin tilted up towards the ceiling. And then gently releasing, bringing those hands back down towards the sides of the body. This time we're going to take the arms out nice and wide to the side, lifting them up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to take them out towards the sides, bending the knees, coming down into our forward fold. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Just letting everything go nice and heavy. Coming to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale, but we're going to take the arms out towards the side. This time, lifting them up towards the ceiling, all the way up to the top. And then bringing the hands, coming to rest them towards the sides of the body. We're then going to come to stand towards the front of the mat. We're going to inhale, we're going to take the hands out towards the side, really opening up through the sides of the body. As we exhale, taking the hands down, coming to rest into our forward fold. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Bending the knees as much as we need to so that we can place the hands down onto the ground. And then we're going to step the right foot back. We're going to take that left foot back as well, taking both legs out nice and long, coming to rest into our high plank. If you do need to lower your knees down, that's absolutely fine. And then we're just going to lower the knees down all together now anyway. And then lowering that chest down towards the ground. Coming to rest, both hands one on top of the other. And resting the forehead down onto the mat. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to lift the head off the hands, and you've got the option of coming up onto the forearms or placing the hands underneath the shoulders and coming up into the cobra with a gentle bend in those elbows. Choosing that position that is comfortable for you, and we're just going to stay here for a few deep breaths. Really opening up through the chest, releasing any tension in the shoulders. 2 more deep breaths in here. And then as we take our next breath in, we're just going to bend those knees, taking the knees out nice and wide, bringing our big toes so that they're touching. And we're going to sink the weight back, one towards the heels, arms out nice and long, just coming to rest into our child's pose. Letting everything go nice and heavy, releasing that lower spine. Nice gentle breaths in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale and we're going to curl through the spine, coming back up into our tabletop position. And then we're just going to take the legs out to one side, sinking the hip weight back and taking the legs out nice and long in front of you into a nice comfortable seated position. If anyone does have a block, you can choose this time to sit on the block. And just taking those legs out nice and long, toes pointed up towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale and lift those hands up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to hinge forward from the hips, bringing that weight down towards the legs. Trying to keep the legs as straight as you can. Because if we bend the knees, then we're going to release. Then it's going to be difficult to try and straighten out through the legs. I know it can be painful, but we're just trying to gradually bring it so that we can straighten out through the legs. You don't have to do it at the moment. If you do need to keep a gentle bend in the knees, that's fine. I'm just taking the arms out nice and long. Going to place them onto the feet, ankles or onto the ground, and just releasing that lower spine. Taking nice gentle breaths in here. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale and we're going to move the hands to either side of the thighs and then slowly restacking the vertebrae as we come back up to seated. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. We're then going to bring the right foot, coming to place it alongside the left knee, coming to place the left hand onto the right knee. We're going to inhale, lifting that right arm up towards the ceiling and then taking it out behind you, coming to place it onto the mat. Opening up through that chest and taking the gaze towards that right shoulder. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. As we come to take the next breath in, we're going to inhale and we're going to bring yourself back round to centre, taking the both legs out nice and long and just giving them a bit of a shake. And then coming to place the left foot by the side of the right knee, coming to place the right hand onto the left knee. Inhale, lifting that left arm up towards the ceiling, taking it out behind you, coming to place it onto the ground, and then taking that gaze towards the left shoulder. Taking a nice gentle breath in here. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. And then gently coming back round to centre, taking both legs out nice and long again, giving them a bit of a wriggle. And then coming to find a nice and comfortable cross-legged position. Give yourself a bit of a wriggle until you find that position that is comfortable for you. And just taking a moment, just have a nice gentle breath in here. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale and lift both hands up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to draw the left hand down, coming to place it either onto the mat or bringing the forearm down. And then reaching over the top with that right arm. Keeping both hips on the ground, just taking a nice gentle breath in here. Feeling the breath coming into the right side of the body. One more deep breath in here. As we take our next breath in, we're going to inhale, lifting both hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, taking the right hand down towards the mat. Reaching that left arm over the top, taking a nice gentle breath in towards the left side of the body. Nice gentle breath. Staying here for 2 more deep breaths. And then releasing, bringing both hands up towards the ceiling, interlacing those fingers, pushing the palms away, have a nice big stretch. And then releasing the hands, coming to place both of them onto the knees. And we're just going to gently close down the eyes. Neutral position, and just taking a moment, just have a nice deep breath in. Holding the breath in here. And then gently exhale all of it out, nice and gently. We're going to do that one more time. So we're going to inhale. Holding the breath in here. And then gently releasing. As we come to take our next breath in, we're going to inhale, lifting the hands up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to draw the hands back down towards the sides of the body. Inhale, lifting those hands up towards the ceiling, bringing the palms together. We're drawing the hands down towards the chest. Namaste.